Irving Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
From Southwest Park in Irving, Texas, it's the ICTN Game of the Week. Tonight it's KAOS and the Bulldogs with the Irving Girls Softball League. 14 and under. Hi, everybody. Rob Willman with you. John Nelson joins us in just a bit. It's our annual trip to beautiful Southwest Park, and so far the rain has stayed away for us. We should have a pretty good night, actually. We have done some games in the past where it has been just brutally hot this time of year. But right now we've got a nice cloud cover. You see the temperature. Wind gust up to 28. It did kick up a little bit this afternoon. This softball game being taped on Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May. And you're looking at the warm-up pitcher, Reyes, number 11, Marissa Reyes. Plays pitcher, also infield for KAOS, as they will be the home team. And they're playing the Bulldogs, who will be the visitors. Let's go ahead and take a look at the batting order of the Bulldogs. Now, everyone bats. As you take a look at Reyes there getting ready and getting her warm-ups. It's Perez at shortstop leading things off, followed by Walton, Martinez, Peterson batting fourth, Haley Hill, Journey Feathers, Mercedes Lopez, Roxanne Powell, Ariel Flores, Chelsea Castro, Jordan Ward, and Cassidy Carlisle are all your batters for the Bulldogs. Everyone bats. It's 40 feet from the rubber to home plate, 60 feet from the bases. They do have a run rule, 5 runs per game, or per inning. And a lot of times they go to that. They'll hit those 5 runs, and the next team will come up to bat. And now with the dubious distinction of calling this ball game, Mr. John Nelson.
I'm ready. Marissa Reyes in the circle tonight for KAOS as young Natalie Perez, the shortstop, leads it off here. In game 1, they have a 12-game schedule in the spring, and this is the 4th game for the Bulldogs, 4th game likewise for KAOS. Marissa Reyes pitching, and behind the plate is Serena Townsend, number 23. The dimensions here at Southwest Park: Joe Taylor Field, number 3. It's 220 to right, 220 to center, and 205. The short field in left, and the wind blowing out. But, Rob, it would take still a mighty blow to hit one all the way to the fence tonight.
Just make contact. That's all we can ask for.
That's true. Pitch on the way. That one taken outside. Oh, it's on the corner.
I think liberal strike zones should be mandatory.
The wider the better.
Yeah.
2 balls and a strike. Kaya Walton blitz second for the Bulldogs. That one over, but a little bit high. The wind may have pushed that one up high. It's gusting in and out from time to time here at Southwest Park, this venerable old complex. Been around for a long time. Dedicated back in 1998. That went inside, and a leadoff walk for the Bulldogs. And here's Kaya Walton, the second baseman. Now the Bulldogs will bat 12. KAOS will hit 11. Tight bases. First baseman is trainer number 17. Moore's over at third. And that pitch is called a strike to Kaya Walton. Try to set the rest of the defense as we can, but Genesis Trina at first and Adaya Moore over at third.
Ball.
Runner takes off, kind of stops, hesitates, but continues and will take second base.
Well, that was fun.
Start, stop, and start up again. Beth Martinez The right fielder will hit next. Just underway, top of the first. And that one skips underneath as Perez will motor over to third on a pitch that got away from Marissa Reyes. Shortstop is Lauren Orozco, number 19.
Two balls, one strike.
Nobody out, a runner at third. Moore kind of close to the bag as Walton waiting for the pitch. Reyes not quite ready. Here it comes, and that one over the head of Walton as Perez halfway, and the catcher will run her back to third. Townsend kind of eyeballing her back to the bag at third.
Perez almost halfway down the line before Townsend was able to hit the ball and force her back to third. Perez second on the team in runs this year. Like to see your leadoff batter do that.
And in great position to score a run or some runs with a leadoff walk, and now Walton will join her on the base path. A couple of walks to begin. Iveth Martinez, the right fielder, hitting with runners on first and third. As you see a look from behind home, the plate faces northwest here at the complex. Field number 3. And Martinez will swing and dribble one to the third baseman, Moore. She'll go to second for one force as Martinez crosses first.
Well, a good job to get the lead runner. And the second baseman really didn't have to tag the player afterwards, but she made sure just the same.
An RBI for Iveth Martinez, a fielder's choice, and a 1-0 lead for the Bulldogs. Tatiana Peterson, the catcher, hitting fourth in the batting order. Martinez on at first, and the pitch inside. Will she move to second? Will not. Got away from Townsend. Not much distance from the backstop to home plate, maybe 15 or 16 feet, not much at all.
That was the third RBI for Martinez to knock in this year.
But like you said, Rob, put the ball in play and kind of hope for the best. This one, as Townsend unable to locate it, now finally walks to it, and Martinez up to second base. 1-0. Haley Hill. Now she'll come in at times in the outfield, hitting fifth. Penciled in that batting order, but they have a couple of subs, Hill and Lopez and Jordan Ward, that move in and out. As Martinez, the lead runner, well, the only runner for the Bulldogs right now. Infield comes in a little bit. See if Peterson has a pitch in which she can swing away, and that one almost hit her on the left foot. She kind of had to skip rope and draws a walk. So they're walking, and the Bulldogs are scoring here in the top of the first. Number 88, Haley Hill, the batter. All right-hander so far. Marissa Reyes, that one way up high as Townsend has to stand up, and Martinez going to run to third. Peterson stays anchored at first.
Well, Martinez wanted to make doubly sure, I guess, that she had the opportunity to take third, and went down there uncontested. You know, the key, if you haven't figured it out already, is just throw strikes. That's the hardest part of this game for the young ladies, is getting the ball over the plate.
Yeah, the pitcher Reyes just having a hard time getting it near the plate. There's another one that sails way outside, and Townsend on the chase. She's had quite a workout here in the top of the first inning. Off the mask, back on. Off again to locate it.
Did you ever play catcher growing up as a kid?
I did once. We were short a player in Little League. I had to catch. And
did you want to?
Fortunately, did okay. It was just a hard time trying to pick that ball up if you've never caught before with a mask, and hoping not to get hit with a foul tip. But about the third inning, Rob, I kind of had it down, just trying to concentrate when it left the pitcher's hand and not worry about the swing.
2 years, once in Pee Wee and once in Little League. Every time you got home, you found dirt and everywhere behind your ears. Just where did this sand come from?
We had a pretty good pitcher that had good control, so it could have been worse. And there's ball 4, and now the bases are loaded. And Journey Feathers, the opposing pitcher, will hit. There is a 5-run rule per inning. And a 1-0 lead already for the Bulldogs. Journey Feathers.
Like that name.
Well, see what she can do at the plate here. And elects to take one inside.
Just think if she was in a skit with Brian Fellows.
Feathers. Well, she's set with the glasses and the face mask. Ooh, I thought she might take a rip at that one.
Yeah.
Called a strike. She has another one like that. You know she's going to cut loose. Got to help her cause here at the top of the first with the bases loaded. Reyes throws, took that one. That gets away. It's called a strike as it goes off of the mid of Townsend.
Yeah, that was a good pitch.
Was a good pitch. Not far enough for Martinez to try to come home. 2 strikes on the hitter, Journey Feathers. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Here's Reyes, and that one outside. Again, Townsend having to run it down as it goes off the top of the mitt. And the count now level at 2.
The catcher's mitt reminds me of a first base mitt.
Kind of does.
Yeah.
Not as much give as the first baseman's mitt, but a little smaller target. They held up on that one, ball 3. So it goes to full and no place to put Feathers for Marissa Reyes. In a jam here, down 1-0, 1 out. And here it comes. She swings and misses on a pitch a little bit up high. And that is strike 3. But more importantly for KAOS, it's out number 2. And Mercedes Lopez, another one of those players that comes in and out. She will play left field and hits from the left side. This one in the dirt. And they're going to try. Here's Martinez and slides in there as Townsend kind of held up, and Reyes was kind of waiting for it, Rob, at home.
I laugh because Martinez went right through the uprights, if you will, right between the legs of the starting pitcher, Reyes, for the game's second run. And I think that's, be aggressive on the bases with 2 outs like that. Why not?
Yeah, 2-0, and now runners on second and third. Mercedes Lopez stands about halfway in the box.
4th run of the year scored by Martinez, leading her team in runs scored.
And that pitch a little bit outside. Sure, 40 feet. Rob looks about like 70 when you had a trouble here in the top of the first. Sometimes it comes down a little short. Sometimes it stays up a little bit high. That's a good pitch. In for a strike.
Well, Reyes has pitched 5 innings already this year in this short season and has a couple of strikeouts to her credit coming into tonight's game.
2 balls and a strike to Mercedes Lopez. She swings and pops one foul off the third base side. Brings the count to even. 2-0. Orenthal Townsend's the head coach for KAOS, and Sherry Feathers, the head coach for the Bulldogs. Ball 3. Tatiana Peterson, the runner at third. There's Sherry Feathers in the first base dugout. And trying to, for third base, she's coaching at third and hoping that Lopez can get something close to a swing out here. And here's a pitch. And she swings, she misses, and there is strike three, and it gets away. Here's a 3-0 lead. It'll go 4-0 as Haley Hill scores all the way from second. Mercedes Lopez strikes out. It got away from Townsend, and Trina couldn't hold on to it at first base, and after all of that, Lopez ends up at second base. So good news, bad news for KAOS. They got a strikeout, but unable to retire Lopez at first base.
Watching it again on the replay is just pretty bad effort there, and she's like, "Oh, I better run and take off," and the catcher just kind of bounced it to the first baseman, and Trina couldn't handle it, had to give chase, and in the meantime, the bases were clearing around like a pinball machine.
Here's Roxanne Powell, the third baseman. She's the 8th batter in this inning. This one ends up a couple of feet short of home. Townsend able to smother it.
Well, Lopez down at second. She represents that 5th run of the inning. So KAOS will either get out of this thing down 4-0 or the Bulldogs will run rule it here in the top of the first.
And you will have to get 4 outs.
Yeah,
it's a 4-out deal.
True. It's tough enough to get an out
Yeah.
at this level, but then when that happens, it makes it really challenging.
Roxanne Powell, as Townsend had no chance for that one, and Lopez going to run over and take third base. Every base has been occupied. Every base runner has scored except Kaya Walton. And now you have Lopez over at third. Keeps it in front of her, Townsend. And Reyes still trying to get some kind of a feel and kind of get zoned into that strike zone areas to see the target applied by Townsend, and that one will allow Powell to take first. And here's the 9th batter, Ariel Flores, the center fielder.
Another lefty. As you take a look at the run of Lopez there at third.
Lopez hit from the left side, and here's Flores. The center fielder, 4-0. The Bulldogs lead it, and that one up high, and Powell will have no trouble taking second base. Sometimes if you draw the assignment, Rob, of being the visiting team and score 5 runs, you have a pretty good chance of winning the game. 2 things, the time factor and the walks come around, and that takes a little bit of time, and kind of an advantage being the visiting team and scoring 5 runs.
Pretty close to 15, 20 minutes just here in the top of the first.
Yeah, that's an ideal start. 1-1 the count to Flores. As you see, our shot from center field about 230 feet away. Ball 2. And Lopez off the bag about 4 feet, but had no intention of trying to come home. 15 runs after 3 innings, 10 runs after 4 is the applicable run rules scoring system here. Holds up on that pitch a little bit low. Reyes having to come down and cover home just in case Lopez tries to score.
You know, because of the pace of the game, if you're an outfielder or even, for that matter, an infielder, you can't let your mind wander. You pretty much got to keep pace with what's going on, or next thing you know, the thing just goes right past you.
Well, an overthrow or a ball that gets away on a runner trying to take second base. That one blooped foul, and the count goes to full. And that one is over but low, ball 4. Flora's kind of hoping to get that indication to go to first, and she did. And the base is loaded again. Chelsea Castro is the batter. So Castro is the coach, Sherry Feathers.
Oh, got to have a chin strap.
Now the KAOS team had a time trying to locate some chin straps to even play this game. They were a couple of short, I believe, and had to get an equipment bag and
dig around,
make sure they had enough. And some of these helmets are used by a majority of the girls. Same one if it fits.
Hey, that's what we used to do. Just pass them around.
Did you have an ear flap, or were those the days before?
We had the
ear
we had the
flaps?
double ear flaps, the doubles. But we wanted the single, where like the pros had, a single.
Ooh, that one slips out of the hand of Reyes. And here's a throw, and in to score is Lopez, and there's the 5th run. So Mercedes Lopez scores the 5th run on a ball that got away from Reyes, and that will do it in the top of the 1st inning. Very productive for the Bulldogs as they score 5 runs on no hits, a boatload of walks, a couple of strikeouts, but the damage done early for the Bulldogs, and now they will send Journey Feathers to the circle, and she will face the KAOS lineup for the first time. 5 runs. Carlisle is at first for the Bulldogs. Walton at second. Natalie Perez is the shortstop. Roxanne Powell's the third baseman. Jordan Ward's out in left field. Ariel Flores in center. And Yvette Martinez in right field. Tatiana Peterson is the catcher. And Journey Feathers about to take her warm-up tosses. There's the right fielder, Yvette Martinez. Bulldogs have a couple more players on the roster than the KAOS team.
Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the batting order. It'll be Reyes leading things off, batting second, Nyla Weiss. In the number 3 spot, Lauren Orozco. Destiny Rogers bats cleanup. Francis Blanco follows. Genesis Trena, who plays first base. India Moore, Alaya Perez, Sarah Townsend, Valerie Garcia. Your starting lineups for KAOS here, and they're half of the first, and pressure on them trying to answer.
Had a little change. They had a girl listed to hit second, Rihanna Musadig, and moved her down all the way to the bottom of the order. And Journey Feathers set to get things off for the Bulldogs as Marissa Reyes, the opposing pitcher, leads it off. And KAOS trailing 5-0. Outfield is very shallow. Jordan Ward is only about 8 feet on the outfield grass, and the first pitch from Feathers underneath Marissa Reyes. First chance for KAOS to kind of match some of the runs put up against them. This one well short. And like Townsend, Tatiana Peterson will be busy behind the plate. Girls Softball League 14 and under. The IGSL, founded back in 1960. Outside and high. Marianne Hill Softball Complex is where we are, dedicated back in 1998. She was a co-founder of the IGSL. Just off Shady Grove. There's a good pitch. In for a strike as Reyes takes it. Wind has subsided just a little bit from tonight's start. And Feathers misses outside. And Reyes takes first base.
Well, that's a way to start things, right?
It's a good start. And here's number 22, Nala Wise.
Just get the base runners.
Wise very close to the plate. And Reyes will take second. Lauren Roscoe will hit next. Well, that face mask is almost eye level. That's way up high. Got that batting helmet tilted up. The bill of the helmet almost pointing skyward.
Might be the style.
Wise.
Might be starting something.
Well, straight up and straight down. Swings and misses on that pitch up high. Certainly had no trouble seeing it, just couldn't connect. Down on the count at 1-2.
Or was it
Or
strike
was that
three?
strike three? Yeah, it was. So Wise strikes out, and here's Lauren Orozco, number 19. Off the middle, Peterson, and Reyes scampers over to third. Destiny Rogers in the on-deck circle. Roscoe, the shortstop, swings and unable to catch up with that one outside.
You see Reyes there at third. She leads the team in runs scored with 5.
And hoping to cross the plate for the 6th time. That one in for a strike.
Whoop, whoop.
It's only strike 2.
Well, the batter's taking off.
Kind of having to do a little double duty tonight. The scoreboard not working out in center field. That was only strike 2, and so.
Do you think you could go out there and give it a good kick, John? The
I don't know
scoreboard
what.
might have a little short in it.
Some of the spring storms cause a short out there, or something askew, but not working tonight. There's one lifted high in the infield. One bounces in front of Perez, the shortstop, as Powell kind of cut in front of her, and the run scores from third. It's 5-1. Well, she got a second chance. She was headed towards first, came back, and has an infield single.
Like we said, make contact, and a lot of times good things will happen. As Powell and Perez both kind of fought for that little pop-up, and by the time they were all sorted out, a run had scored.
So Destiny Rogers is batting, and moving up to second is Orozco. Trots into the bag. 5-1. That ball just hung up long enough, and Perez and Powell unable to get a glove on it. Pitch is outside. Here's a throw to third. It gets away from Powell. The third left fielder Ward backing it up, got to it, but Orozco had a pretty good lead and comes all the way around to score. It's 5-2. It's a no ball, 2-strike count on Destiny Rogers. That last pitch was a strike, and that one goes way outside. Well, that's what we were talking about, Rob, about the outfielders having to really come in on every throw to any base to back up an errant throw. And Jordan Ward did just that in left field. Didn't have a long run, but Roscoe had a pretty good head start around third base.
Gators and Dragons next week on ICTN. More softball. We'll be right here again.
That one is strike three. Rogers is out. It's out number 2, and Francis Blanco, the first baseman, now hitting. 5-2, bottom of the first, 2 outs. And Blanco takes one outside. And there is ball 2. Well, if you can find the strike zone against this girl, you got a pretty good arm.
Pretty good accuracy, huh?
Yeah, not much of a target at all.
A good pitch right there.
Scoots away from it. It's called a strike.
Feathers struck out 2 and just walked 1 so far.
That one kind of nosedive as it got to the plate. Almost had enough trajectory to get it across, but missed low and inside. And that one just above the shoulders, ball 4, and now runners aboard for KAOS. At first, having seen Reyes and Orozco score, Genesis Trena, the first baseman, the batter.
You know, that drives home a point. You talked about the strike zone. Blanco, 9 times out of 10, a normal batter up there. That would have been a strike, that last pitch.
Now, Feathers, her delivery, she kind of stops and doesn't follow through. She'll kind of whip it in there. That one on the inside corner for a strike. Throw taken by Walton, the second baseman, but Blanco's in there. She kind of flings it towards home. It's all arm, not much of a leg drive.
Kind of reminds me of the pitcher at Nimitz we saw come in late in the ball game a couple of weeks ago against MacArthur, who we had also seen pitch here at Southwest Park a few years ago.
Blanco over to third on a wild pitch. 2 outs, bottom of the first. Bulldogs, a visiting team, on top by 3 runs. Genesis Trena, the first baseman. And in front of the batter's box. Chokes up a good 3 inches on the bat handle. The count even at 2. Where's number 17 for KAOS? Journey Feathers. Throws and a good pitch right about shoulder high, but a little bit high. Ball 3. Thought that was close enough for a home plate umpire to ring her up, but it stayed up high. Doubt about that one. Trying to score from third and a little late as Feathers tags Blanco on the knee, but Blanco got in there ahead, and it's 5-3. Ball 4 and Trena at first base, and here's Adia Moore, the third baseman. So the KAOS squad slowly but surely getting back in this one, 5-3. Genesis about a third of the way to second. Scampers back to the bag. Adia Moore, the third baseman. And she'll swing and miss. And now Trena will take second.
everyone bats in the 14 and under league, and so some teams you have about 12 to 13 batters you go through before the next one, before you get to go back to the top and reload. And
oh, you're right. High-scoring games, you'll only bat twice.
Right.
I mean, that'll be it. Change of bats now for more.
Reminds me of my grandson's T-ball game. Same thing. They don't have outs. Everybody just bats once. You know, you go through the lineup, and that's the half of the inning.
Yeah.
It's perfect. You don't keep score.
Well, they get their exercise in.
They do. Last week they were supposed to bat twice around, but they had team pictures beforehand, and everyone was so tired they batted around once, and that was it. Coaches go, I think we've had enough.
Got shorted a bat, but that was enough.
But you got the team pictures, so that makes up for it.
Yeah, that's right. Keepsake for sure. 3 balls and a strike. Runner at second is Trina. 5-3 the count. And that one, as a home plate umpire, quickly off for the mast to get a good look at Trina's play at third. She's in there. And the count's at 3-1. And that is a strike. It is. Kind of a delayed call.
Double.
3-2. On Moore, Journey Feathers just one more to get in there. And a comebacker off the glove. It redirects towards the shortstop Perez, and that allows Trainer to score from third. Well, Moore on a 3-ball, 2-strike count, able to make contact and hit it off of the glove of Feathers. She has a hit and an RBI.
The shortstop Perez, if you watch it after it goes off the glove of Feathers, the shortstop Perez, look, she did backhand it with the glove. She tried to just scoop it up as you would normally. Kind of an awkward way for her to try to grab it, but nonetheless, Moore was already at first base by then.
2 hits here in the inning. Elia Perez is the batter. And there is Moore, wasting no time taking third base.
Oh, I guarantee you, if it's just barely past the catcher Peterson, she's going to be coming for home.
5-4 the score and a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Elia Perez. That one stopped by Peterson. You never know, that stop could prove to be a game winner. I mean, that could be all the difference in a close 1-run game.
2 strikes on Perez.
And that one is called a strike on the outside edge as Perez is caught looking. The 3rd strikeout for Feathers. And more importantly, she does not allow that run from third score. 4 runs on a couple of hits for KAOS. And at the end of 1 complete, our new score, the Bulldogs 5 and KAOS 4. The Irving Girls Softball League.
Got about 36 more minutes on the clock. Probably 1 more inning.
Yeah, the way it has started, you'd like to get 1 more complete inning on and pile up the runs here.
It will be the bottom third of the order, though, for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they bat 12. It'll be 10, 11, and 12. Kind of hard to
say, huh?
get into that mindset after you're so used to 9, even with a DH.
Here's up to this point, here's one number the Rangers can't say, and that's 2.
2, that's, yeah. Too many runs allowed by the bullpen.
Can't win 2 in a row.
Too long, also.
Season's going to be too long at this rate.
Those Oakland games just took forever. 3.5 hours, 324, 45,000 pitchers. I think Melvin used his entire bullpen, and Bannister used all but 2.
Everyone gets to play.
Yeah, they did. They played and scored.
Oh, that one game that Texas had, what, a 5-run lead?
5-0.
Oh, and it just imploded. That's when you know it's going to be a long year.
Couldn't stand prosperity. A 7-run 7th inning for the visiting A's. Okay, here's Chelsea Castro to lead it off for the Bulldogs. Where's number 23? Jordan Ward will follow, and then Cassidy Carlisle. 5-4. Bulldogs trying to win their first game of the year. Again, they only play 12 games in the spring, and this is their 4th.
It started back in April, but a lot of the rain delayed things.
Marissa Reyes able to record a couple of strikeouts in the top half of the first. Well, the area in front of the pitching rubber is really dug out, but both pitchers here in the top of the second. A little bit of a hole in front of the slab. Good liftoff point for Reyes. She can just get it over. That one hit the back foot of Castro. And she's on base. And here's Jordan Ward, the left fielder. Hits from the left side.
They've got quite a few number of lefties on this team.
This is a third. Swings from the left side. I think the on-deck hitter is also a lefty. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. Castro moves up to second. There's the second baseman having to back up the throw back to the pitcher. And the count at 2-0. Now the wind is picked up again out of the southwest, blowing out to center field. Comes up high off the backstop. Over to third goes Castro.
It's about the neighborhood to where the storms come in.
And now at the plate, and Townsend picks it up. The tag a little late as Castro has 1 foot just in front of the mid of Townsend. And there's the 6th run for the Bulldogs. So play at home as Townsend looked up, and by that time, Castro was right on top of the plate. Ward has just walked. And here's another left-handed hitter, Cassidy Carlisle, the first baseman. So the score now is 6-4. And jumping out away from it is Carlisle. Townsend not going to try to throw to second, too long of a throw. Nobody out here in the top of the second.
Well, we're getting reports of some sprinkles out there.
And there's a strike taken by Carlisle.
Clouds don't look too bad.
No, it's kind of a dark gray, but not hanging low, which is a good sign. Townsend having to reach out, bring it back in. Well, we'll see here. Wind picks up a little harder, blowing out to center field.
Breeze kicked in this afternoon around 3, 4 o'clock. I noticed a significant breeze.
Hit to the left side. Orozco has it go off the glove. Ward has to kind of play it close at second. Carlisle with an infield hit. And now here's the top of the order, Natalie Perez. Runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Natalie scored the game's first run in the first inning, gets away from that one in the dirt. Kaya Walton will follow. Hit to the right side. Trina wins the race to first. Runner from third now heads back to the bag. 3 unassisted on a nice pickup by Trina, the first baseman, the first out here in the inning.
Well done. It was a foot race. Filled it cleanly first and then go for the bag, and that's what happened that time as Trina fielded it cleanly. Watch here, off the bat, just pushed to the right by Perez, and it was a foot race, and then she had the presence of mind to try to go home if she had to, with Ward there at third base.
Yeah, Ward rounded third and maybe about 8 or 10 feet off the bag and headed back to the base. Walton is the batter, and she takes one on the outside edge. And like Perez, Walton walked her first time up. Bounces in front of home. Blocked. And Ward back with 1 foot at third base. And that one skips away. Ward gonna run in, score from third standing. It is 7-4. Carlisle moves over to third. And it's 7-4. Kyle Walton getting ready to get back in the batter's box.
Walton's down at first. They called that ball 4.
Oh, I'm sorry, they did, yeah. Yvette Martinez is the batter. Yvette.
Maybe the coach is asking if that was ball 4 or not.
She headed to first, Walton did. Martinez drove in the game's first run on a fielder's choice that was scored 5-4 as Perez scored. 3 runs now the difference in the game. And here's a situation, Rob, when you make a position change and eating into that time.
We got a new pitcher now. He's decided to put Trina out there on the mound.
A position change. The third baseman goes to first. Trina is the new pitcher. And she'll face Yvette Martinez. A 7-4 game here in the top of the second. Genesis Trina is the new pitcher. And number 10, Rihanna Musadig at third. So she gets in the game.
Well, now they're going to move her to short.
Okay. She'll slide over another position. Orozco goes to third. Okay.
That's why we have a pencil.
No whiteout. Not enough time for a whiteout to dry.
No. At first, Coach thought that Musadig would not make it in time or make it at all. He had her batting pretty high in the lineup, and then at the last minute he had to drop her down to the bottom and say she will just be a substitution.
Had a late homework assignment. Had to finish
You know,
maybe a couple of pages and got here on time.
We're in May, so finals, I mean, college finals are now, or a lot of kids are almost out of college, and so that means high school's not that far behind. What, 2-3 more weeks, and they're out. Don't you know they can just taste it?
Yeah, springtime and right towards the middle of May. School's about the last thing you really think about. But you have to complete it. You have to finish the semester. Number 10, Mosadig.
Well,
now in the dugout.
Apparently that Reyes is going to be the catcher.
Reyes
now.
will catch, okay. So Marissa Reyes is the new catcher. She gets the mask fitted properly. And Trina is kind of simulating some warm-up tosses with no catcher. But not much time left in this game at all. 7-4 is the score. KAOS down by 3 runs, and a number of position changes here. Beth Martinez will be the batter, but Trina now needs to loosen up some. She now has a catcher to throw to.
Well, congratulations at this point in time to the Lady Vikings and the Lady Cardinals softball teams. They're still playing. They won their first round, and now it's off to the second round of play. Congratulations to those two schools.
Lady Cards, first sweep in the playoffs. Been a good year for Mac. All sports. There's a swing and a miss by Martinez on the first pitch offered by Trina. 14, Cassidy Carlisle. Over at third, Walton has just moved up to second base. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. So Trina close enough for the plate to let these hitters swing away. And unable to connect is Martinez. 1 out here in the top of the second. And that pitch on the inside corner, strike 3. Martinez down on strikes, out number 2. Tatiana Peterson, the batter.
Well, if Trina continues to keep the ball close to the plate, the batters better come up swinging.
See if Peterson is in that mode with runners on second and third. And that one kind of dropped away as it got closer to home. Trina runs it down now, back quickly in the circle. Peterson walked her first time up, scored the game's second run. Infielders are ready for anything hit in front of them. Here's the pitch. And that one hangs outside, and that's a called strike. Count 1-1. Now when we lift off, we have, and here's a run in from third to score. Carlisle 8-4. Oh, that one just went straight up out of the hand of Trina. Walton over to third. So the 4-run lead now for the Bulldogs.
Well, even if they get their limit, they're still behind.
That's true. It would
With time,
not be enough.
Nope, with time running out.
Now Peterson kind of steps away.
About 20 minutes to go.
And here's the pitch, and that one almost the same as the last one, trying to come in, and sliding under the tag is Walton. 9-4.
Well, the good news is it cleans the bases.
Yeah, nobody to worry about on the base paths for Trina. So 4 runs have come home here in the second, 2 outs. And now Reyes
Yeah,
changing
mask.
helmets.
Yeah, the mask. Just wasn't the right mask.
That's a one-piece fitted
That's a nice
catching
baseball
mask.
mask right there.
3 balls, 1 strike.
A lot of protection on the sides. 3-1 counts, and the next pitch is ball 4. Peterson walks, Haley Hill the hitter. Hill scored the game's 3rd run back in the 1st inning. Number 9, that's Natalie Perez running at first. Well, let's see.
She's already been in the game this inning.
Okay, Yvette Martinez, who struck out, now running. And Haley Hill, the hitter.
What you do is the person who made the last out is the one that is qualified to come in to run.
And that would be Martinez since she struck out.
A dubious distinction, huh?
Another rule to think about here. 2 outs in the inning. Made the last out, but you're back in the game, so a reprieve. And Peterson in at second. Has her name
2 balls, 1 strike.
stenciled in the side of the helmet.
Well,
Hers
she
and
knows
hers
it's
alone.
hers. That's it.
Stands way out deep in the box. Watches one outside. Throw to third is not in time. Peterson in there ahead of the tag. She represents the 5th run this inning. 2 outs. Marissa Reyes started. She's now catching. Trina is the pitcher and floats one over for a strike. Haley Hill took it, and the count at 3-1.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Set and the delivery, and that one is called a strike. He held out the right hand, indicating a strike, and got it in the count 3-2.
Ball.
And that one ball 4. So Trina lost her on a 3-2 count. And here's Journey Feathers, the pitcher. 9-4 here in the top of the 2nd. 2 outs. Feathers struck out her first time up. Takes one way outside as Townsend lunges for it, and there was the 5th run, and that is the end of the top of the 2nd. As Peterson scores, and another 5-run inning as it goes 10-4, and that will do it as we get ready to slide to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. 5 runs on 1 hit for the Bulldogs. In the middle of the 2nd, they lead now by 6. And catch-up time for KAOS.
Well, if you can only score 5, that means time's not on their side and odds aren't on their side, as we've got about 15 minutes left in this softball game. We started something new on ICTN called the Lance Brown Player of the Year Awards. We pick one for the male, one for the female. For the ladies, 2 sports star Crystal Okiki of Irving High School. She was named Hitter of the Year in District 9 6A volleyball. She helped lead the Lady Tigers to their first district title since 1974 and their first playoff appearance in over 5 years. She followed that up by earning all district honors for the Lady Tiger basketball team, averaging over 12 points a game, was the team's top rebounder, hauling down nearly 10 a game, and led the squad with 11 double-doubles. She was a force in the middle, leading Irving with 24 blocks, second on the team in steals with 60. So congratulations to Crystal Okiki, our Lance Brown Girls Player of the Year for 2014-2015. She will head to Austin this fall to attend the University of Texas. Maybe walk on for the Lady Longhorns. Who knows? But congratulations to Crystal and an outstanding year for the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, first district title in volleyball in 40 years. That was too long between titles, 1974 and this past school year.
And they won state that year. The last time they won district in volleyball, they won state. How do you like those apples?
74 was a good year, and so was 2014. Lance was I guess he's still a big Cardinal fan.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up in that area.
Oh, yeah.
Hadn't talked to him in about a year and a half.
He's probably in an RV just touring the country right now with Gloria. We talked about some of the girls locally in postseason. Of course, it'll be past that by the time you're watching this. But Irving Nimitz will take on Waco Midway. And also the MacArthur Cardinals will take on Belton. I believe that Nimitz game is best out of 3, but the MacArthur game, if I read it right, is one and done. I know that the MacArthur coach wanted a series against Belton. If he had an opportunity, he always wanted best 2 out of 3. Must have lost the flip of the coin there.
There were a couple of district champions in the area that had a one-game playoff. One and out or one and move on. Bottom of the second. And to lead it off for KAOS is Zarina Townsend. (10-4) in favor of the Bulldogs, in position to win their first game of the spring. They're 0-3.
Well, I got Moosadig now.
Oh, I'm sorry,
batting.
number 10. Rihanna and Valerie Garcia should be on deck. Came in defensively in the top half of the zone.
Well, here's the thing, is that KAOS can only score 5. That'll put them a run shy of the Bulldogs, and we're at about 12 minutes, so time and numbers not on their side.
In essence, you're just playing out the clock here in the second inning as Moosadig walks. And here is number 53, Valerie Garcia. One of the reserves. And hitting for the first time. A very pronounced open stance. Does not close it as the ball gets towards home. This one juts away from the catcher. Moosadig up to second. And now going to draw a throw at third. It gets away. Will round the bases and score. Walk, took second, took third, and now for good measure takes home. So it is 10-5. And here's how it all started as it got away from Peterson.
And then she just put it in gear, didn't she?
Kind of trots to it and throws to third, off the glove.
And boom, there she goes.
So the lead has been cut in half. Valerie Garcia, the hitter. And now Orenthal Townsend to the plate and adjusting the stance of Valerie Garcia, who you could see how wide open her stance was, and now it's more of a closed stance and closer to the plate. In-game adjustments.
Probably a wise move, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, you get a chance to have a better look at it. There's kind of a half swing and misses. but was in position to take a swing at it.
Dead ball.
And that kind of short hops and almost it would have did hit the left foot of Garcia. Hit by the pitch. She takes first.
Jump, jump.
Right off the left toe. Ouch. Yeah, that's a base taken. You can take your base. And Marissa Reyes is the next hitter. 10-5 the score. Reyes wants a different bat. That allows the coach for the Bulldogs, Sherry Feathers, to go to the circle. Her daughter is the pitcher, and Reyes, hitting for the second time in the game tonight, walked her first trip to the plate.
Always wondered if coaches would go out there just to, work the clock a little bit, take up some time.
Leading by 5, and the runs and the time are definitely in your favor. This pitch stays up high. Well, there's the activity at first. Mini convention over there. Squares around a bunt trying to distract the pitcher, and that one low and outside.
Less than 9 minutes on the clock.
You sound like a producer giving a countdown.
Mm-hmm.
30, 15.
8 minutes to break.
Opening up mics. Runner caught up between first and second and stops and is tagged out.
She's like, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm on.
Garcia is out, and there's the first out of the inning. And now the skies have opened. It has started to rain here in the bottom of the second.
It has, hasn't it?
Journey Feathers, and she delivers a strike to Reyes. So it has arrived here in the bottom of the second inning with one out. That one hits right on top of home.
Really thought we would dodge this.
Yeah, that was the early prognostication around 5:30 or so.
Yeah, this could be one of the, it's coming down harder now. I started to say it could just be one of those little one and done type things.
I don't know what these May showers are going to bring, but let's see if we have a stoppage here. Ball 4, and Reyes is at first base. And now takes second base. The hitter is Nia Wise.
I think she just got called out.
Well,
Now the coach is telling her to get back to second.
and base umpire says she's out. That would be the second out.
Now she's
She may have left a little bit early.
Yeah, let's watch the pitcher.
No, yeah.
And she takes off before the ball leaves the pit, and you can see the umpire there in the bases. And so now he's going to go talk. I don't know what you're going to get accomplished, Coach, because you're losing and it's about six to go.
Left way too early, Reyes. And now we're less than 8 minutes, 7 or so.
Oh, less than 6.
Now the rain has stopped. So the runner is out. There's the second out of the inning. Wise is the hitter. 10-5 the score. And Feathers sends one inside, and Wise gets away from it.
How do you score a guy, player leaving early?
I guess the credit,
First baseman,
the
3
closest
unassisted.
player defensively. There's a swing and a miss on a pitch outside. Well, Saturday's game at the ballpark, line drive hit the umpire with the bases loaded and ruled a base hit. Dead ball, everybody safe. Or beg your pardon, runners on second and third. And Oakland loaded the bases. Now, if you're a base runner and you're hit by a ball, you're out. Hitter gets credited with a base hit, and the defensive player closest to the runner is credited with a put out. And that one hits Wise in the back. And the batter is number 19, Lauren Orozco, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Right on the elbow there.
It's like the clouds are a little darker out towards center field, but over to the left, to the west of us, a lot of light. Don't know how heavy it's falling now.
Swing and a miss. No throw to second.
No, I wouldn't throw. Not with the lead like this. 10-5, 2 outs. Time's on your side.
Orozco with a hit and an RBI her last time up. Upstairs, and they have been tipped as runner takes third. It was tipped.
Well, there's less than 4 minutes to go. I'm thinking that's game.
Right, a cut and a miss. And Orozco is down on strikes. There is out number 3. KAOS able to push across a run as they send 6 batters to the plate this inning, and we're through 2, and now the discussion whether to continue with the score as it is or go ahead and call it at 10-5. So the Bulldogs are out there. Trina and the rest of her teammates with not much time at all left. It'll be Feathers, Lopez, and Powell.
Let's go ahead and thank our sponsor for the ICTN Game of the Week. On ICTN, the charter sponsor, Gerald Stavely, Dry Cleaning, the charter sponsor of ICTN Athletics and the Game of the Week. We appreciate their support, allowing us to cablecast and now even putting online on the internet, on YouTube, the games of the week. It's about a couple of minutes on the clock. It's a 10-5 score. So we're all guessing that if the Bulldogs score at least 1, then that's it, because the other team, they can't come back and score because you can only do 5 innings. So
well, the Bulldogs are up there and ready to hit. Journey Feathers as Trina will complete her warm-up tosses. Shouldn't need much at this stage and just get ready to play with time running out. In essence, the game already decided. The Bulldogs will win and collect their first win of the spring. Journey Feathers leads it off. Feathers struck out her first time up. Reyes again started. Trina came into pitch last inning, and there's a called strike to Journey Feathers. Mercedes Lopez to follow here in the top of the third. Trina quickly ahead 0-2. That one stays a little bit low.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Looks like she's ready to hit on anything close. See if she cuts loose here. Well, the ball and 2 strikes. She takes one inside, goes off with a mitt of the catcher, Marissa Reyes. Yeah, the rain is kind of wrapped around now, more towards the northeast. If anything, kind of settle down that infield dirt.
That's just like having someone spray it before the game, right?
A light shower. And Feathers with a leadoff walk here in the top of the 3rd. Mercedes Lopez, the next scheduled hitter in a game in which the Bulldogs will win. Lopez struck out, but took first on a ball that got away from the first baseman and eventually came around to score. And the pitch upstairs, ball 1. That one a little bit closer, but still outside, ball 2. That one inside, ball 3.
I'm surprised the runner hasn't tried to test the arm and get over in scoring position.
I thought Feathers might have wanted to take off on that previous pitch.
Right.
There's ball 4. I bet she does here at second. Nothing to lose with nobody out. Roxanne Powell, the hitter. And getting close to the end of this game with a time limit.
Time limit is over.
Roxanne Powell. And watches one upstairs. Walk got as far as second back in the 1st inning. And now here's some movement on the base paths around 3rd. Feathers crosses home. 11-5.
And that's it, buddy.
And that will do it as the Bulldogs win their first game of the year. 5 runs in the 1st, 5 in the 2nd, and the deciding run here in the 3rd as they win it by a final score of 11-5. So a victory for Coach Sherry Feathers and her squad. Battle the rain and some interesting plays in the field as they win it by a final score of 11-5. Our thanks to our ICTN production crew here at Joe Taylor Field number 3 at Southwest Park. Once again, our final score, the Bulldogs 11 and the KAOS squad 5. For Rob Willman, this is John Nelson saying goodnight here at the Irving Girls Softball League.
Irving Game of the Week has been brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning,